What exactly would you do if you earn a low income? First of all, before you even talk about anything on this video, what is a low income, by the way? So if you start by defining what is a low income, then we can be able to see, hey, am I speaking to you or not? You see, according to Kenyan statistics, we say people who earn a low income are guys who earn a salary of, in terms of dollars, is less than $220, $220 per month, okay? So in Kenyan shillings, I will call it at around 24,000 Kenyan shillings. See? So if you earn less than 24,000 Kenyan shillings, let's talk of if you earn all the way from 1 shilling all the way to 24,000 Kenyan shilling, you're regarded as a low incomer. Low what? Low incomer. Now, it depends. Check on your statistic from the country that you're watching me from. Then from there, now you can come to this video and be able to get the information. But this is the point. Hey, don't go anywhere. Just don't hit any button there apart from the like button, subscription, and also commenting down below. Now, what exactly are you supposed to do when you earn a low income? And I know you hold yourself a very big dream and vision about yourself as far as the finances are concerned. Let's get to the business. I don't want to waste much of your time. Let's go to the business now. Here you are. You have that money that you earn. Let's talk of 24,000 and below. That's the amount of money that you earn per month. Now, the point is this. There are some of the things that I'm going to outline here and I'm going to elucidate so that you understand what exactly you're supposed to do. The point number one that you're supposed to understand, and obviously you can relate to this point. Some people, they realize that the money that they are making at the end of the month, it is not enough to cater for their monthly expenses. Get what they do? You're right. They go ahead and borrow some money to make sure that they finance their lifestyle. So the first thing that you're supposed to, or let me say what you're not supposed to do so that I may explain what you're supposed to do, is that do not, see what you're supposed to do, do not take loans or debts to do what? To finance your what? To finance your lifestyle. I understand everyone, me, you, and everyone who else is watching this video, we do have what we call, that desire of the lifestyle that we would love to live in. But the point is this, do you have the capacity to finance that kind of a lifestyle? So you find some people, hey, you want 24,000 Kenyan shillings. Maybe the 24,000 Kenyan shillings can only get you, say, 7,000, sort of a house rent somewhere, and maybe can get you like 8,000 for your food and what have you, maybe 2,000 for the entertainment and more. And then you feel like your lifestyle ought to be catered for. Let's say your lifestyle maybe should go to 10K, or maybe let's say your house rent should go to 15,000. Maybe perhaps when you interact and you see people who live in an area where they're paying over 15,000 per month, you feel like, oh my goodness, they're living in an elegant life. So how exactly do you achieve that gap between that what you admire and that what you have? So in between that gap, you only take a loan to fill that. Now that is a financial graveyard that you're heading. All right, it is not a decision that I can advise you to take. So what you're supposed to do not and avoid taking the debt to finance your lifestyle. But if you're taking a debt to invest for the purposes of growing yourself, well and good, that's a healthy one. All right. So how about the next one? So the next point, or the next thing that you're supposed to do if you earn yourself this amount of money, which is regarded as low income, is that you're supposed to start early. Start early. Start what? Start early. Now the question is this, no, what am I going to start early? What is it? What is it about starting early? This is the point. See, when you realize you have less of financial muscle, what do? You leverage on time. Come on, I repeat. See, if you realize that you have less of a financial muscle, what do? You leverage on time. For example, I'm going to take an example of two individuals. Say there is this individual A and there is this individual B. So these individuals, the whole target, both of them's target is to get, let's say, 40,000 at the end of the year or something of sort. Okay, I'm just throwing numbers out there. See, this individual, he earns, let's talk of a salary like 40,000 at the end of the month. So the guy here is capable of saving, let's say, 10,000 at the end of the month. So we have another guy here who earns a salary of, say, 24,000 at the end of the month, who is our low incomer. So the guy can only save what we call the 5,000 at the end of the month. Okay, so the 5,000 at the end of the month, not 50 but 5. Okay, now the point is this guy only takes 4 months. You need 4 months to actually save this amount of money, which is our 40,000. This guy needs 8 months. To do what? 8 months to go ahead and be able to save the target of 4,000. See, the point happens is this. When you have the money, obviously time may not really be an issue, but when you do not have much money to save at the end of the month, you leverage on time. So guess what? The 4 months and the 8 months with respect to each and every individual has helped them to achieve the target of 40,000. I repeat, the 8 months on the case scenario B, and the 4 months on case scenario A have helped them to go ahead and do what? Save that 40,000. So the point is this: when you know you're earning less money, you leverage on time. Say you're able to save, let's say, 2 or 3, 4,000 a month. So what you do, you leverage on time, you start early. The only way you can leverage on time is either you automate or you save early. It's as simple as that. And when I say early, go ahead and not just save, but go ahead and invest your cash so that at least you can say, guess what? See, for example, you cannot just wait this guy to save with him if, say, you are in a competition with this guy, of which you shouldn't be, okay? But the reality is that you are on competition. So what you're supposed to do is that go ahead, because you need 4 months, or rather you need 4 months extra to you save this amount of money. So you're gonna start as early as you can. Let's say maybe you're watching this video and you want this amount of money and you're thinking about, hey, guess what? My target is to get 200 Gs, maybe in terms of my savings. That will cost you maybe, say, hey, 2 or 3 or 4 years for you to achieve or actually realize that amount of money. So you have to actually start as early as you can, leverage on time, and go ahead and do the thing. And I always tell people there is a difference between accepting and appreciating. So accept that you're earning a less amount of money, but do not appreciate. Appreciate is when you say, hey, you've accepted, and you be like, hey, guess what? I cannot do better than this. No, you can. See, accept, but don't what? But don't appreciate. Always be or spread your tentacles out there to understand some of the opportunities that you can leverage on. So the point is, start early. How about to go to the point number 3? The point number 3 is none other than doing what? You see, it's called trim your expenses. Trim your expenses. You see, some of the people, have some of the expenses that are not so necessary. Never forget this. Things are classified into 3: good, must, and nice to have. So when you earn a low income, focus on the things that you cannot shake them off. You cannot shake things to do with you eating, living somewhere, and obviously having clothing. It may not be the sort of, designer clothing, but the point is you cannot be able to shake that effect. So go ahead and trim your expenses. Maybe this is an important point whereby people say like, hey, just instead of telling people to trim their expenses, why don't they think about earning more? Okay, I always love to ask this guy who comment on those kind of comments. I ask them, so how can you help this individual to earn more if you cannot speak the language of management? If you cannot tell them, guess what? First of all, let's say let's take a case scenario of an example of someone who is employed from 9 to 5. That guy is occupied during the productive hours of any human being. You get what I'm saying? Now you're telling them to earn more. How do they earn more? They're employed, maybe let's say they're a teacher, they are whatever, they're employed someone, maybe they are HR or something. So how exactly can they earn more on that? See, it is good to differentiate between a motivation and a reality. See, when you tell somebody earn more, it is good. I would prefer that. Earn more. But how do you earn more? If you earn more, it's either you have an extra job. What if they do not have a job? You see, if you're watching this video from Western world, maybe you can think about the evening you go to another job. It is okay, to make sense. But what if you hail from Africa, where you're getting a second job? Even for getting the first job, it's a problem. How do you do that? So you leverage on what you have at hand. What you have at hand is 24,000. And what can you be able to do with that? So you trim your expenses. So when you trim your expenses, therefore, you do not subject all your money that you earn towards the usage. Therefore, it means that you have actually do what? You're remaining with the surplus. You take the surplus. Now that's what you channel towards an investment. That's how you do what? That's how you earn an extra income. That's how you expand the basket of income. See, it is good to be real. And you guys, it's always good to differentiate the motivational speakers and the real conversation that is out there. And again, what you're supposed to do, perhaps maybe that should go hand in hand. There is something to do with what? Always be open. You see? Always be open and spread your tentacles so that you can be able to listen to the new opportunities that are coming there. For example, say maybe you're saving 4K, or rather, let's even talk about 4K. See, if you're saving 4,000 at the end of the month, 4,000 at the end of the month, you've been doing this so for the next, like, say, 6 months. Okay, 6 months, it means now you've saved yourself 24,000. That's amount equivalent to what you've been earning per month. So in every rate of 6 months, you catch up with 1 month's savings. You get that? So now you ask yourself, okay, you see, there is a long way of earning your money. There is a long way of creating wealth. If you were to save this amount of money and maybe say you have a dream of getting 20 or 30 million of amount of money, that may be close to an impossible. So what you do, you ask yourself, so far I have 24,000. What exactly can I do instead of just following the long route of actually accumulating wealth? What can I do with this 24,000? And I always tell people, view money as a tool to help you make more of it. View it as an extra hand to help you achieve that goal. So you have 24,000 with you right now. So what exactly can you do with this 24,000? Can you get into farming? See, can you get into business? Oh wow, can you get a product and be able to resell it? Or maybe can you be able actually to go ahead and learn some skills, maybe using this amount of money? You see, some people usually don't think like learning a skill using the money can actually be a point that you can be able to leverage and be able to do something at the end of the day. You see, the point is this: spread your tentacles, be out there and listen to the ground. And so do listen. You see, in Kenya we say listen to the ground simply means like, hey, you have to know what is exactly going on out there. Okay, so the point is this: leverage and be open out there so that you can ask yourself, how much do you have in your bank and how can it help you to realize your dream? See, the point is that I usually see people locking that amount of money and then turning on the other side and asking themselves, there was a time I was approached by a guy who was having 220,000 in account. And the guy was so much mesmerized to achieving the 500 target. And the guy was like, I don't want to invest that amount of money. I do not have a consistent income. Then I do not know what I can be able to do to achieve that target. And I was like, you have 220 G's in your bank. How exactly can you do that? What can you do with that amount of money to achieve that what you want? It's like you having a tool somewhere, but you're not using it. You're struggling here. You don't do exactly that. You see, you being successful, it's like, you see, success and failure is like, if you turn the success on the other way around, it's actually a failure. It's simple. So what you're supposed to understand, if you do not have the aspect of, sort of risking, you cannot be able to make it this game, okay? So let's go to the next point. The next point is that bite what you can swallow. Bite what you can swallow. Bite what you can swallow. What you can swallow. See, this one may be made up from the point of expenses or something of sort, but the point is this, excuse me guys. So what I say, or when I say bite what you can swallow, is that grab a dream, a vision that you know resonates well with what you can achieve. And I'm not discouraging you from dreaming big. At all the occasion, you should dream big, that's for sure. But at the same time, incorporate the realities deep inside of you. See, that one helps you to go ahead and ask yourself, okay, fine, my dream is to get 200,000. Now, get into the business now. What exactly does that mean? The other thing is this. You find maybe you're in a competition with your fellows who are taking their kids into funny schools whereby they're paying a lot of money, or maybe they're having a certain lifestyle. You're barely surviving. You cannot be able to do it. But there you are, you're struggling as much as you can so that you can be able to be accommodated in that kind of a lifestyle. And before you know, or by the time you know, you've squandered everything, you have yourself a lifestyle that you cannot be able to fund. And what are you thinking about? You're thinking about getting loans and debts to actually finance that. So bite what you can swallow. You cannot just like bite a big thing that you cannot be able to swallow. Get that what you can, and as you mature, work on your mouth so that you can bite more. And as you progress that way, that is exactly how you grow. Let's go to the last point. See, focus on what we call the primary things. See, there's something called focusing or focus on primary things. Focus on primary things when you know you're earning less amount of money. And again, this is not like me killing you, you being ambitious. No, it has nothing to do with that. Me telling you that you're supposed to focus on the primary things. So what are your primary things? Allow me to introduce a name or a term that I've been always using it throughout the time. Hierarchy of priorities. So what are your priorities? Focus on channeling your money towards those priorities. And once you do exactly that, shake off the things that you know are not necessary, they're not okay, or they're not sort of a thing that can actually, you can see, differentiate between your needs and your wants. Focus your money towards where you have your needs, and then the wants can actually come later. See, I always get some people inboxing me and telling me, hey, you know what, Joseph, I do not earn a huge amount of money. My salary is 15,000. What exactly can I do? By the way, can I actually invest on these areas that you always talk about? Yes, you can. And they're like, you see, they come with this mentality like, hey, all this investment that I talk about is worth to be started by guys who earn more amount of. No, you do not. See, if you do not have the character of management when you're earning small, even when you earn many or much amount of money, then I do not think in any way that you're going to have the capacity to actually regulate and manage yourself. That is not exactly how we do it. And do not have this presumption that, hey, I have to earn a lot of money for me to get into the investment. No, I've been talking about even 100 bob, 2, 3, 5, 10, 1,000, whatever. You can be able to start something as far as the investments are concerned. Guess what, guys? That marks the end of my video, but never forget this. See, the like button is always down below there, and my subscription, or rather my number is on the description. You always grab that number, shoot me a call. We can talk about businesses for just a cup of coffee's price. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.